morning, friends. Welcome to 30 Minutes with Mandy. That's me. If you find that something we're doing is a little bit too challenging, a little bit beyond your ability, then I really encourage you to take the modification to slow down a little bit. If you're using weights, maybe set your weights down. Just take your time and keep in mind that everything we do is timed. It'll be a 30-second set or a 1-minute set, and you can do 10 in that set, or you can do 50 in that set, or anything in between. How much you do is entirely up to you, okay? Now that we have that out of the way, our warm-up today is going to be skaters and bicycles. Skaters and bicycles. And we're going to get started with our skaters in 3, 2, 1. All right, so here's your basic skater. This is a modified version. If you need to go nice and slow, if you need to take your time. If you're ready to get warm, we're going to pick up the pace a little bit. We're going to add that little bounce in the middle, like so. And if you're really feeling sassy, you're going to touch the floor on the other side every time you go down. Take that leg behind the other one. It's like a curtsy lunge, but it's very dynamic. We're coming down to the mat for bicycle crunches. We're on the back, and it's opposite elbow to me. And here we go. Take the opposite leg out to hover. Modification if you need it. You're here, you set it down. You're here, you set it down, okay? So if that's the version you need, please take it. Big exhale, keep breathing. Bring it on up. We are back to our skaters. Ready. Let's go. So remember, basic is here. You can pick it up and add that bounce in the middle, like so. Or you can really go for it and touch the floor. If you're touching the floor, get into the lunge back there. Don't just bend over. Keep breathing. Bringing it down for our bicycles. Ready? Let's go. Fingertips are resting lightly behind the ears. You can even do this. If you need to support the head, feel free. Just be sure not to pull on the head. Take the modification if you need it. We go a little bit slower, and we set those feet down in between. Bring it on up. And we are back to our skaters. One more round of each. Let's go. Here's mid-level. Take it to the floor if you have it in you. Keep that chest up. And remember to get that lunge in behind you if you're taking it to the floor. Last round of bicycles. We're ready. Here we go. Take one leg out to hover, and the other knee comes in at 90. 90 degrees right here, okay? As soon as you drop it, it kind of disengages the core. So we want to maintain that 90 to straight. All right, guys. Let's get into our workout. We have 6 exercises. we're gonna do each one for 1 minute. And we're gonna do those 6 exercises 3 times. We'll take a break in between each full circuit, okay? First exercise of the day, we're gonna be doing a squat thrust with a curl. So, a squat thrust is a burpee without the jump, right? Without the push-up and without the jump. So, if you don't have weights, you're gonna be doing the burpee. You're gonna add the push-up. The jump is optional, and we're gonna totally go over all the different modifications that are available to you for this exercise. If you think you can't do a squat thrust, if you think you can't do a burpee, there is a version available for you, I promise, okay? All right, if you have weights, grab them. We're gonna get started. In 3, 2, 1. All right, here's the full version. Squat, plank, jump it back into your squat, stand up, curl. Modification, we step back, we step in, we stand up, and we curl. If you don't have weights, you're here. Jump back, push up, jump in, and up. Or step back, step in, stand up, okay? Add the push-up if it works for you. Don't do it if it doesn't. Big exhale as you take it back. And again, right here. Plank, squat, curl. Excellent. All right. We're going to set one of those dumbbells aside. The other one is going to stay with us, and we're going to do a plank drag. So we're going to be in a high plank position. The weight is behind one of the hands. And we're going to pull it over and pull it over and pull it over. If you don't have a weight, you're doing a high plank with an alternating shoulder tap. That's going to be your exercise, okay? You can do this modified if you need to. You can be on your knees. All right, guys, we're going to get started in 3, 2, 1. So, I'm in plank position. I bring it over like so. And again, you can be on your knees if you need to, right here, just like so. Make sure that dumbbell is behind your hands, not in front, because we don't want smashed fingers. And the object of the game here is to really try not to rotate the hips or lift the hips. When you lift up that hand to grab the dumbbell. Same thing if you're doing the shoulder taps. You're really making an effort to keep those hips down. So it's not like this. This is not it. Okay? Shoulders directly over wrists. Excellent. Come on up. We'll talk a little bit more about that next time around. I'm checking my notes. And next up, we have, we're going to squat, reverse lunge, squat, reverse lunge. You can hold a dumbbell or a pair of dumbbells while you do this. And it goes like this. Nice deep squat, step it back, reverse lunge. Bring it back in, squat, reverse lunge. Nice deep squat, take it back, just like so. Keeping the chest up the entire time and being mindful of that form. So it's a nice deep squat. There's the lunge. Squat. There's the lunge. Now, The modification for this exercise is to simply take it nice and slow. No weight, just take your time. Make sure that you put that foot right back where you found it after you lunge. We lunge, we put it right back. We don't want to come in and waste a bunch of time readjusting, okay? Next up, we're doing floor dips, but before we do that, I can see that we're having a little technical difficulty here. I need to restart my body app. So be patient with me, guys. Yes, there we go, okay. Awesome. Floor dips, we're coming down to the floor to do dips, hence the name. So I'm gonna show you full version first. Right ankle over the left knee. We hoist up, we bend, we straighten. If that's too challenging, both feet on the floor. And if that's still too much of a challenge, you're gonna use your chair or your coffee table to do your dips on. And you're really gonna take your time and you're gonna do the number of reps that's right for you. That might mean that you do 3 dips, switch sides, and then rest. If that's all you got, that's all you got. Maybe you do 3 dips, you rest, you count to 3, and you do 3 more dips. You rest, you count to 3, and you do 3 more. Sometimes that's what it looks like in the beginning, and there is absolutely nothing wrong with that. Big exhale on the way up. All right, bringing it up. Next up, we have a deadlift with a bent over row. So I'm gonna grab my 15s for that. If you don't have any weights, you're gonna practice the hip hinge, or if you're just inexperienced with deadlifts, I would prefer, even if you have weights, I would prefer that you just practice the hip hinge first. And it looks like this. We're pushing the hips back behind us. Think Betty Boop, right? We bend over, we come right back up. You bend over, legs are straight, knees are soft, shoulder blades are back. So it's not here, okay? It's not here. So all of this is nice and straight. These knees are soft, just barely bending, and you feel all that in your hamstring. So if you don't have weights, or if you're new at deadlifts, this is your exercise, okay? The rest of us are gonna grab our weights, and here we go. We're down, we row here, we bring it back up. Back is flat, squeeze those shoulder blades, bring it on up. Stick that booty out. Stripper butt, right? Pin up, girl. That's what this posture looks like. Betty Boop doesn't bend over like this, does she? No. She bends over like this, and she looks at you and winks. You don't have to wink, but stick that booty out. Keep the back nice and flat. All right, coming down to the mat, we're gonna do striking sit-ups or crunch and punch. If you have a small pair of weights, you can use those for this, right? That can be fun. So I'll meet you down on the mat. In 3, 2, 1. It's relatively simple. We sit up and we punch and we punch. We're back down. Do it again. Exhale on your punch. Modification if you need it. You crunch instead of sit up and punch. When you throw that punch, put a little pretend like there's something on the other end of it. It can be anything you like. Your favorite politician, maybe. And exhale on those punches. Belly button comes in. Twist it over. Excellent. Let's take a little break, guys. That's one round down, 2 to go. All right. So, first exercise, we have our squat thrust for the curl, or burpee if you don't have weights. That just means you're adding the push-up and maybe adding a jump if you're feeling particularly sassy today. All right, guys, we're ready. Getting started in 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Get down in the squat, jump back into the plank, back into the squat again, bring it up and curl. Here's what it's not. Okay? Get in that plank. Even if you're stepping back, it's not here, right? We step all the way into the plank, all the way back into the squat, and then we come up. Part of this exercise is jumping into that plank, embracing the core. 15 seconds. All right, we're going to set these guys aside for just a moment. Well, let's see, what are we doing next? We have our plank, our dumbbell drag. Okay, so I'm going to do a side view this time, so you can get a little better look at it from that angle, and so you can see how the hips are supposed to behave there. All right, wrists directly under shoulders. We come up into our plank, and we're here. We grab that dumbbell, we drag it, or just pick it up and pull it over. Trying to keep the hips down. If you're on your knees, it looks like this. Keep the head neutral. Don't let the head come down. Find your gaze about 12 inches in front of you and leave it there. Just set your gaze on that little spot. And don't let it change. Don't look at the dumbbell. Look in front of you. And keep that butt down. Excellent. Next up, we're going to squat, reverse lunge. Squat, reverse lunge. Here we go. Taking it down, stepping it back. Chest up, butt down, 90-degree knees here. I'm going to turn and face you so we can talk about when we lunge. It's very tempting to step in and then find a spot for the squat, but I want you to put that foot right back where you found it and immediately go into the squat. Remember, the modification for this is to just go a little slower. Take your time. Focus on your form. And keep breathing. Awesome. Coming down for floor dips. again, if this is just too much of a challenge for you, then you're gonna be on your chair or your coffee table or some surface and just taking your time and practicing this movement. Maybe you're here. Maybe you don't go down terribly far. It's okay. These are really hard. They're supposed to be hard. So do what you can. Switch sides. Remember to bend and straighten. So it's not about this, right? This is all about the arms. We bend the elbows and then we straighten. Fingers pointing toward feet. Almost there. Bring it on up. Let's grab our weights again for our deadlift with a row. And again, if you don't have weights, or if you're new to deadlifting, you are going to be doing the hip hinge. You're practicing your Betty Boop, okay? You're just practicing, keeping those shoulder blades back, sending the hips back behind you. And here we go. Ooh, I forgot my row. So, during the deadlift, we're practicing keeping that imaginary egg between the shoulder blades. We're not dropping it, we're not breaking it. And when you do the row, you're gonna break that egg. And that's okay. Just as long as it stays put during the deadlift. Almost there. Keep that back nice and flat. Send those hips back. Excellent. All right, we have our crunch and punch, AKA the striking sit-up. And here we go. When you go into the sit-up with a crunch, pull the belly button in toward the floor. Throw that punch with the intention of it landing. You could sit up and go like this, but what's the fun in that, right? Really take it out there. And exhale. 10 more seconds. All right, guys, let's take a little break. That is 2 rounds down, 1 to go. We have 6 minutes left in our workout. So by now, you know your modification if you're using it. You know what the challenge is if you're looking for more of a challenge. So whichever direction you need to go in, that's where I want you to go. If you're really looking for the challenge, I want you to empty the tank. If you're still getting acclimated to workouts, I want you to take your time, focus on your form, and take the modification when you need it, okay? All right, let's do it. First up, we're gonna jump back, jump in, stand up and curl, or burpee if that's what you're doing, okay? Getting started in 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Plank, squat, bring it up, curl. Remember to jump all the way back, jump or step all the way back into that plank. Your shoulders should stay here. So your jump back should not be like this either, right? The shoulders should still be right here, directly over the wrists. And that's where that bracing the core comes in. Almost there. We're going to set one of these aside. Then we're going to keep the other one for the plank drag. Ready? So you can be on your knees. Maybe you're here, right? Or you're here. Regardless, you're not looking at the weight. You're keeping your gaze at that little spot. It's about 12 inches in front of you. And remember, if you don't have your dumbbell, you're doing your alternating shoulder tap, like so. We have 20 seconds left. Get that butt down. Pick up the head and breathe. Brace that core. Excellent. Woo! All right, guys. Squat, reverse lunge. Squat, reverse lunge. I'm holding a dumbbell. You don't have to. Or, if you're feeling real sassy, you can hold 2 dumbbells. Or a small child. Or your sweet little puppy that wants your attention. Send those hips back in your squat and get those 90-degree knees in your lunge. No matter what you're doing, keep that chest up. Coming down to the mat for our floor dips. Left ankle over the right knee. Hoist it up. Bend, straighten. Don't let those shoulders anywhere near the ears. So don't be here. Whether you're on the floor or a chair, pick up your head, look straight ahead, and roll your shoulder blades down the back. This is about bending the elbows so that the triceps have to do the work of lifting your body. Switch sides. This exercise has absolutely nothing to do with your shoulders. It's all about using those triceps to lift the body. Keep that head forward. 5 more seconds. Woo! All right, bring it on up. Grab your weights for your deadlift, or get in your Betty Boop pin-up girl position. Flat back. Especially for those of you who are just practicing the hip hinge, that deadlift position. This is all about keeping that egg between your shoulder blades without dropping it or breaking it, and really sending the hips back behind you. The legs are straight, but the knees are soft. You feel that work in the hamstrings. Almost there. Excellent. Striking sit up next. And then we're done. And here we go. Remember, you have the option of doing the crunch, punch, punch, and back down. If the full sit up doesn't work for you. Throw that punch like it's landing. Get that twist in. 15 seconds left. Almost there. Lead with your chest. Don't round the shoulders. Well done. Excellent work today. Thank you so much for being with me. It is my pleasure to guide you guys through movement. I will see you tomorrow at the same time. All right, you'll have a great Wednesday.